Good evening. I have a quick little post here for you about lasagna. I've been a personal chef for, 35 years maybe, and I have prepared my lasagna more times than I can count. And it's been my #1 requested repeat dish for my clients, because I do something just a little bit different to it that I have never told anybody this. You actually might do this yourself, so it might not be a secret. But when I make my lasagna, I use, depending on how many dishes that I'm making, I use half ground beef. And then I use a fourth of ground sausage, and then a fourth of spicy ground sausage. So I have 3 types of meat in my lasagna. Sorry, my dog is crunching in the background. Max, you're noisy. Then I make my homemade sauce. And so I make it the day before so that it has a chance to blend all the flavors overnight. So that makes a difference in your homemade lasagna as well. And then I use cottage cheese, half and half with ricotta, half and half. I use freshly grated mozzarella cheese, freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and here's what I do different that you might do or don't. Those people that I say this to, they're like, oh, I wondered what was different about that. I couldn't put my finger on it. This is one of my secrets. I take little slivers of cream cheese and I dollop it as well through the layers. So that's how I make my homemade lasagna. A lot of people want to use just the ricotta, and that's fine. The ricotta can typically dry out more, especially if you're going to have leftovers and you reheat it, more than the cottage cheese would. And you actually have more protein from the cottage cheese and less fat. And it's more of a creamier texture in the long run than the ricotta cheese. Another really good blend would be the, let's see, what was it? I wrote it down. The ricotta with the mascarpone cheeses that you mix together. So there's an option there as well for the cheeses. So I hope that helps. And you can also make it and prepare it the night before. Cover it with saran wrap to keep it tight, air-free. And then you can bring it out the next day and bake it. And it does freeze well, but it doesn't last in the freezer very long because there's not going to be any preservatives in homemade lasagna. So I would date it and use it within 4 to 5 weeks max if you're going to freeze any leftovers. And when you reheat that lasagna, I would put it in a pan in the oven and maybe put it in a double boiler type of pan where you've got water on the bottom, and then you can steam it when you bake it because you don't want to overcook it or dry it out. So there's some of my lasagna tips. I hope that helps, and I hope you make some lasagna soon, and I'll see you next time on Andrea's Down Home Cooking. Good night. Bye.